everyone.
Morning.
On behalf of the Senior Leadership Committee, I would like to invite all the cities of Northwest Hennepin, and I'll make sure I remember them all. So it's Corcoran, Hanover, Maple Grove, Osseo, Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, New Hope, Crystal, St. Louis Park. Did I miss any? Welcome, and Golden Valley. We welcome all of you and hope you had a good time and you had some coffee and cookies and you're ready to tap your toes. All right, I'll start out with a joke. So it's lunchtime at the Catholic school and the kids are in the line and they get to the cookies and the nun had a note on there that says, "Only one, please, God is watching." So they continue down the line and get to the apples. And one of the kids wrote, "Take as many as you can. God is watching the apples." So this morning with us is the mayor of New Hope, Kathy Hemken, and she has been a longtime supporter of our work. So I will invite her to say a few words.
Good morning.
Good morning.
They said I'm the only mayor that's here. It's because I'm the only mayor that's old enough to be here. all those other punk kids that are trying to run their cities are busy working and doing that. So there's some advantage to having gray hair, and that's because I get to come to the senior forum. Welcome, you guys. This is so much fun. The resources that are here are great. The coffee's always wonderful, even if I do spill it on the floor and stick my foot in it. I had to change. I have to show you.
Go up there and show her. Yes, you might as well.
Okay, I had to change shoes because I had on black flats, and that's not any fun. So in the process of changing shoes, I put my foot in my coffee. I'm a very talented person. So anyway, you have to appreciate the little red shoes. They're coming off as soon as I sit back down. They're just for show. At this age, you don't want to spend too much time in heels. You guys can understand that, can't you? I was telling somebody about if women ran the world, wouldn't it be a lovely, lovely place? Now, I really want to hear some applause. I'm going to try that again. Thank you. This guy over here is going, yeah, right. I noticed nobody's sitting next to him either. There might be a reason for that, I don't know. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. That's not my joke for the day. Yours was better, actually. God wasn't watching the cookies back there. I have a little gal that's working back there, and she's pregnant from the New Hope Park and Rec. And so I went to the cookie lady, and I got her a cookie and water, and they looked so good. I went back to get my own, and she slapped my hands. One per customer. And I said, well, yeah, but we're pregnant. And she gave me a couple. I think she felt sorry for me. I don't know. I think she thought I was pregnant. Yeah. Anyway, welcome to the senior forum. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you guys are here. I hear you're wonderful.
Yeah.
So you told me to say that.
And we're modest too.
Yeah. So thank you.
Now don't fall in those heels. Yeah. I guess we're here to there.
So I hope you're ready to dance, and Pat is going to introduce our band.
Well, welcome to Brooklyn Park. I'm Pat Bush, and I coordinate the programs for our city. And I know that if you've gone and visited in the Garden View room, a lot of the coordinators from the Recreation Parks Department are there. And I hope you visited and said hi and got to know what we offer, because we try to keep our seniors living with gusto. And you guys do. And that leads me to why we're having these gentlemen here today. They're called the Resistors, but you might know them in a different way. Does anybody know what other band they do? No? Teddy Bear Band. Who has gone to the Teddy Bear Band? There we go. Yeah. So they're a multi-talented couple of fellows.
And there's a couple of people here today that saw us with our Echoes of Elvis show last week.
So you never know where they're gonna show up. Anyway.
We have no direction in life.
But I don't want any direction.
So here they go, have fun.
Thanks so much, Pat. Good morning, everybody doing? All right. Great to be here for the City of Brooklyn Park Senior Expo. Resistors get ready to have some fun. And welcome all the people from various communities around. Great to see you here. Hope we can stop by and visit your community. Pick up a business card next to little Elvis here. But right now, let's jump on the A train. Yeah. Dance floor is always open today.
Carpeted for your protection.
Right, so stand up and have some fun here. Let's see if we can get some dance going right away. Let's shake it up a little, Gregory. All right.
A moment while I find me a shuffle.
Find you a shuffle?
Yeah, you know. Here we go, I think. I like this drummer because he doesn't talk back and he doesn't chew gum.
Well, bless my soul, what's wrong with me? Hit you like a man on a buzzing tree. Friends seem to act wise above in love. I'm all shook up, ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, my hands are shaking and my knees are weak. Can't seem to stand on my own 2 feet. Who wants the one I have such luck of in love? I'm all shook up, don't ask what's on my mind. A little mixed up, but I feel fine when I have the one who I love the best. My heart beats so it scares me to death. She touches my hands, shoes I got, lips so like a volcano. It's hot. I'm proud to say that she's my buttercup. I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. Hey, G-Man, let's shake it up. on Canada's high. I'm proud to say that she's my buttercup. I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, yeah. I'm all shook up.
He's all shook up.
I'm all shook up. And I hope you feel better now. I hope you got shook up a little bit. All right, you know what? We thought we'd have a little fun this morning. We thought we'd see if we could shake all our memory banks a little bit here.
Yeah, this is an appropriate little number because I was thinking about the kind of things we'd be pulling out of the hat today, and this is just so appropriate. Do you remember this? Oh, the way Glenn Miller played. Guys like yeah, guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days, and you knew who you were. Girls were girls and men were men. Gee, we really could use a man like good old Herbert Hoover again. We don't need no welfare states. Everybody pulls his weight. Gee, our old LaSalle and Ray, those were the days. Or even, oh, actually, gee, Rich, I didn't know you had it in you.
I had no idea I was going to do that.
I didn't either.
See what you do to me, Greg?
It's simply amazing. That'll teach me to, yeah.
All right. Well, so now, what TV show did that come from?
What was that?
There we go. All right.
Okay, here's one more. See if you remember this one.
It sounds familiar though, doesn't it? It does sound familiar, but it's just bugging you that you can't think of what TV show.
I thought I heard somebody say it.
Okay.
Do you know what it was? It was Monday night on CBS, Channel 4 at 7 o'clock.
That's going to help. You guys remember that.
Gunsmoke. Yeah.
Play it again. Play a little more, Greg. That is a great little number.
And you see, just ride the trail, rocking to and fro on your horse. The sun is shining. Got your six gun in your saddlebags. Chewing on some jerky. Waiting to get back to the Long Branch and get a kiss from Kitty. There was more to it. The bridge goes something like this.
Oh, yeah.
Ocean City and Hollywood, or something like that.
Mr. Dilly?
Marshall Dillon?
Marshall Dilly.
Where did the marshal go?
Hey, Gregory.
Yeah.
Why don't you pull out a little love for everybody this morning?
Oh yeah, love.
Because that's a big thing. We need a little love going on. That gets everybody feeling really good. Let's get it going.
Yeah, I agree. Here is for the way the head me. Oh, is for the only one I see. He is very, very extraordinary. He is forever young. The only one that I adore and love is all I've got to give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Here's my heartbeat, take it, girl, it's yours, but don't you bring it, love was made for me and you. It's events like this that make things so much more worthwhile and palatable and fun for everybody. And with that in mind, I want Rich to sing a song that is kind of special, and I like it because he does this one so well. I don't know how he can talk after he gets done singing it, because I don't know how he does it. But
We're doing the Crusher?
No, we're not doing the Crusher.
I thought we were going to do a tribute to Jesse or something, do the Crusher.
Well, I was thinking, talking about making a wonderful world.
Ah, yes. Speaking of which, we want to thank the city of Brooklyn Park for putting today all together. How about a big hand for the city? Mayor giving the council approval of all that stuff. She has to twist a lot of arms, so.
Well, I wanted to let the mayor know I liked her sexy red shoes.
There they are. Somebody order pizza.
Of course, I make them any color I want them to be because I create my own reality.
Well, I see trees of green, red roses too. Well, I see them blue for me and for you. Well, I said to myself, Louis, we're letting the wonderful world right here in the city of the park of Brooklyn. Yeah, I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright sunny day bring a dark sacred night. Well, I said to myself, self, we're letting a wonderful world, yes, it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The colors of a rainbow, so pretty in the sky. Everybody at the expo having a nice time. Friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? The mouse is saying, I love you. Will I hear babies crying? Watson, whoa, whoa, whoa. They learn so much more than even Lewis will ever know. So I said to myself, Lewis, what a wonderful world. Now here's Gregory with a little white black key extravaganza. Of a rainbow, so pretty in the sky. Crowds of people go passing by. Friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? Now Mars saying, I love you. Will I hear babies crying? Watch them grow, whoa, whoa. They learn so much more than even the mayor might even know.
Be careful.
When I said it to myself, Lewis, we're in a wonderful world. Yes, it is. It's true. Well, I said to myself, I said, hey, Lewis, so nice to see everyone in the room for the big senior expo. Because we're going to learn a lot. We're going to have a lot of fun, find out what all can be done. And the best is coming. We're going to make it a wonderful world, oh yeah. Whoa, yes, yeah. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, you know what, Gregory? I noticed there's some gentlemen out here that are wearing their hats, their veterans hats.
Ah, yeah.
And we've got a little, how about a little medley of songs?
We can do that. We can do that.
Little medley of songs for, let's hear it for our veterans and all our families of our military personnel, present and past and future.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You know, you can always tell a veteran because he always gets this funny look on his face when his wife says, dear, could you do some painting? But because in the service, they have this saying, I believe, if it doesn't move, paint it. And if it moves, salute it. But anyway, a little something here as soon as I get my little drummer line ready here. Here we go.
He's a little feisty, but he cooperates most of the time.
shaking going on. All right, everybody, flex your toes now. You're gonna need them.
Now, if any of you ladies are wearing heels, you can take them off and you can dance in your stocking feet on this beautiful dance floor. Carpeted and everything, won't hurt your tootsies. Heels aren't comfortable anyway, right? Well, come on, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. You can just dance in your chair if you like. Come on, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. Hey, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. Come on, baby, we got chicken in the morning, your boy. Come on, baby, I'll never do you no wrong. No, no. Hey, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. I said, shake, baby, shake. Shake, baby, shake. Shake, baby, shake. Shake, baby, shake. Hey, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. I want you to stand right where you are. If you're sitting down, that's fine. Shake your head a little bit, shake your knees, your shoulders, shake your fingertips, your hands, your arms. Oh yeah, feels good. Get all the kinks out now, don't you know? Shake, baby, shake. Shake, baby, shake. Shake it, baby, shake. Shake, baby, shake. Hey, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Hey, Gregory, let's do a couple more mind benders here.
Oh, yeah, let's see. Let me figure out.
See if I can get my brain cells going here.
Oh, yeah, I got one here.
Oh, I think
Yes! You got it!
you guys got it.
Yep, that was it. Leave it to Beaver.
Speaking of which, you know what, Greg? I had a great idea the other day.
Huh.
I thought I got an idea for Saturday Night Live. I thought they could do a bit called "Leave It to Bieber," and they have a guy play Justin Bieber that would be kind of like a beaver cleaver kind of guy.
Wow.
I don't know. Should we really do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wally made me do it.
Well, but actually, the guy I remember was Eddie.
Well, Eddie, that's no Wally.
Good evening, Mrs. Cleaver. My, what a lovely dress you were in. They get upstairs. Wallace, I've got her figured out. It's okay. I sweet talked your mother. And then there was Lumpy, every mother's son. Lumpy Rutherford, he was special. He played the tuba. He was big enough to play the tuba. He had a lot of hot air. Anyway, if you have any requests too, let us know about that. We're not afraid to try anything.
That's right. We have no direction in life. Please help. Yes. Hallelujah.
Oh, I know. You stumped us right off the bat. Yeah. Well, let's do. We have another Mark Cohen song. We can't do Hallelujah, but how about this one?
Now, if you kind of close your eyes during this song, listen to the words, and listen to Greg sing this. And you imagine yourself down on Beale Street in Memphis, Tennessee. It really tells a story, makes you feel like you're right there.
It's the only street I spent time on a Monday night that could swing on Monday. I ain't never been anywhere else where things were swinging on a Monday night. Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touched down on the bank of the Delta Blues in the middle of the pouring rain. WC Handy waving down over me. Yeah, a first class ticket, but I was blue as a boy could be. When I'm walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off the beat. Walking in Memphis, do I really feel the way I feel? Some of the ghost of Elvis, Union Avenue, followed him up to the gates of Graceland, and I watched him walk right through. Security, they did not see him, they were hovered around his tomb. But there's a pretty little thing waiting for the king down in the jungle room when I was walking in Memphis. Walking with the feet 10 feet off the field. Walking in Memphis. Do I really feel the way I feel? And then I catfish on the table. They got ghost yeah. Red and green, we'll be glad to see you. If you haven't got hair, we got a boy, you gotta play air in Memphis. Yeah, we plays piano every Friday at the Hollywood. And they brought me down to see her. They asked me if I would do a little number, so I sang with all my might. Tell me, are you a Christian child? I said, well, ma'am, I am tonight. When I was walking in Memphis, walking with the feet 10 feet off the field. Walking in Memphis, do I really feel the way I feel? Oh yeah, digging all the things down on Beale Street, the Beale Street Blues Cafe. B.B. King's little nightclub on some corner somewhere where Ruby Wilson and the King Bees are laying it down every Monday through Saturday. The Peabody Hotel where the Little Ducks do their parade thing every morning and every afternoon. Walking in Memphis, do I really feel the way I feel? Put on my blue suede shoes, boarded the plane, touched down in the land of the Delta Blues in the middle of the pouring rain. Touched down in the land of the Delta Blues in the middle of the pouring
I love Memphis, Tennessee.
It's also warm there.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, they don't get snow.
Oh, all right. How about That's a great idea, Greg. All right. This'll get them dancing.
Just might do it.
This just might do it. Little polka time on there. Woo! That's right.
Roll out the barrel, we have a barrel of fun. Roll out the barrel, we got the blues on the run. How about some old Milwaukee? Sing, go to barrel, sing out the song of good cheer. Now it's time to roll out the barrel, 'cause the game's on here.
Oh, start me up, honey, and I'll never stop.
Never stop.
Lots of these, got little Rolling Stones polka. Start me up, honey, and I'll never
Oh,
stop.
you're almost as cute as Mick Jagger.
I'll never stop, I'm running hot. Nick sings this all the running hot, honey, gonna blow my top.
Blow his top from
Blow my top. Oh, start me up,
Start him up.
honey, and I'll never stop. I can't get no satisfaction.
You tell it, boy.
No, I can't get me no
No,
satisfaction. 'Cause I try,
he does try.
and I try,
Try.
and I try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try. No,
But
I can't get me no. Oh, I can't get me no. But you know what? Oh, hot dogs.
Armor hot dogs.
What kind of kids eat armor hot
Oh, you
dogs?
little wiener.
Fat kids, skinny kids, kids that climb on rocks.
No.
Fat kids, skinny kids,
Even kids with chicken pox like hot dogs. Armor hot dogs. The dogs kids love to buy. I'll have mine with lutefisk and ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, that's Gregory on the horizontal go to me, come from me.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Gregory,
Yes.
how about another mind bender?
Yeah, you know, that's a good idea.
All
Let's
right.
see here. What could we do? Oh, I know one. Yeah, this goes back a ways.
Gregory's getting his time machine started up.
Yeah, I'm working real hard. It's not easy. I never thought anybody'd get that one.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. See?
I can almost hear it like, Mr. Wilson! Martha, where's my blood pressure medicine? Oh, George, he's just a little boy. Oh, my goodness sakes.
All right, well, here's something to consider next time you get out of the bathtub. A little splish splash music, Gregory.
Oh, yeah.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath. All about a Saturday night. I rubbed up, just relaxing in the tub, thinking everything was alright. Got out the tub, put my feet on the floor. I wrapped the towel around me and I opened the door. And then a splish splash, I jumped back out the bath. Well, how was I to know there was a party going on? There was a splishing and a splashing, rolling and a strolling, moving and a grooving, really with the feeling.
That should be reeling.
Rocking and a rolling, moving and a grooving, splish splash, yeah. Bing bang, I saw the whole gang dancing on my living room
They be
rug.
dancing.
A flip flop, they was doing the bop. All the teens had a dancing bug. Well, there was lollipop made a naked shoe. Dolly with somebody was a keeping them too. Then a splish splash, I got back out my bath. I went and put my dancing shoes on, yeah. There was a splishing and a splashing, rolling and a strolling, moving and a grooving,
Grooving, strolling,
feeling with the feeling,
feeling with that feeling.
rocking and a roll, sitting and a splashing, splish splash, yeah. Woo! Yeah. Splish and splash. Oh yeah, that's great. Any last requests here? Any last requests?
I was saying that on Monday and feeling like that on Monday. We'll stop there.
Any last requests? And then you guys go into the room with Gregory over there for the next couple hours.
Willie Nelson did this one, a bunch of other folks. I like it. It's kind of a song. Blue sky smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. The birds sing a song, nothing but blue skies from now on. I never seen the sun shining so bright, never saw things go so right. Never seen the days hurrying by when you're in love. Oh, my how time flies. 2 days are gone, yeah, yeah, nothing but blue skies from now on. A little something.
Sour Cream or Genie.
Well, kind of close, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of close.
I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh and sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for everybody with the Resistors. I think we should end on an up note. I think we do. Okay, this is your last chance to dance with us anyway today. Okay, little Jerry Lee Lewis.
Okay.
Woohoo! You shake my nerve and you rattle my brain. Too much in love drives a man insane. You brought my will, but what a thrill. Goodness gracious. Yeah, took my love and you thought it was funny. You took my love and you hooked me, honey. You broke my mind, your love is fine. Goodness, sing it now. Kiss my baby, now you got your part. Woo-hoo! Feels good.
Do the ooze.
Hold me, baby. Come on, love me like I love you should. You're fine, so kind. To tell the world that you're mine, 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 mine. Shake my world and I twiddle the thumbs. I'm kinda nervous, but it sure is fun. Come on, baby, drive me crazy, singing goodness gracious. Yeah. Thanks for having fun with the Resistors. Have a wonderful day at the Senior Expo.
So I think we all know Bobby from Care 11, doing the Grow with Care with Melinda on Saturday morning, and sometimes on the 6 o'clock news, I think, as well.
Every time on 6 o'clock Friday.
See, I don't catch the 6 o'clock.
Either
news
do
all
I.
the time.
I'm usually out.
I'll let him tell you a little bit more about himself, and so.
Okay. You did good. You did good. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, y'all. My people. How are you, my people? It's good to talk to people my age, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go through this one. I selected one about vegetable gardening because vegetable gardening's pretty hot right now. Everybody wants, you know, from backyard to table. You can do these things in pots. You can do them in, you know, raised beds, however you want to do them. But here's some information that hopefully helps you have better success. One of the things is, you know, I do a lot of these, so sometimes I think I'm making sense. You can raise your hand at any time and say, "What did you just say?" And I'll be happy to go over it. So watch this. Come on, do something. Oh, all right. It's like building a house for your plants. My talk this year would bounce between this one and another one that I do. I'm really into organic gardening, and by organic gardening, not so much, well, it's the chemicals and what you use, but our soils. We have ruined our soils. And when I say foundation, that's the whole deal. If you have good soils, you win. There's no way you can lose. The roots do well, the nutrition's there, everything's there for them. So what I like to talk about in my organic gardening one is what we did to our soils. Let's see here. Excuse me. Okay, first of all, what we did to our soils is we used fertilizer over and over and over and over, and we killed off the microbes, and oh, by the way, you don't have to take notes if you don't want. I'll give you my email address. If you email me back, I'll send it to you at the end of this. So we've killed off everything in our soils. We've killed off the microbes. We've killed off the earthworms. We've made it so that we have to fertilize because there's nothing in our soils. And the farmers are doing it, and we're doing it, and it's, you know, it's kind of silly. It's kind of going back to when we were young again, you know? It's back to making things alive, and we've killed off our soils. But the first thing I wanted to talk about is location, location, location. I don't know how many of you have ever seen a farm under trees, but they don't exist. Vegetables need sun. There are some vegetables you can do that'll take less sun and like it cooler, but basically, if you're going to do it in a pot or you're going to do it, you know, if you're going to put a garden, you want to put this garden where it's either south or west facing. North side of your house doesn't work. You can't really grow a lot of stuff. And that's how you don't have the success. The other thing is water. Water is an important deal. You don't leave it up to Mother Nature. You have to be involved. Tool time, that's just kind of like, you know, where you keep your tools, and it's a long way home. So let's first talk about the first part. Hit it. Okay. Well, they didn't even give me a clicker. She's my clicker, you know what I mean? I wish she had like a laser eye or something, I could do that. Okay. So if you're gardening, you want to make your rows east and west. Even if you're putting a couple of pots out, or I do raised beds gardening in my yard for me and my grandson. So my rows go east and west, because then it doesn't shade itself. If you go north and south, what happens is the first row shades the second row shades the third row, so you get less results. Like I said, full sun, and you know, success is the whole deal. Grow what will grow. By that I mean, you know, you don't want to put tomatoes in now, even though everybody's saying, the sun's out, I'm going crazy. They don't do anything, but it's a nice time to put kale and broccoli and things like that that can go in early that like this kind of weather. So finding out when to do things is as important as what you're going to grow. Follow the sun. Well, you know, get out in your yard and take a look. Where's your sun? What's going on at 1 o'clock? Well, you know, everybody doesn't have, you know, we all have trees. We all live in apartments, you know, so you need to look at what's going on. You need to spend that time with a cup of coffee in the morning and look at and see where the sun is. Where is it at noon? Where is it later in the day? And the key times are probably 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock, somewhere in there. I mean, if it's in the morning, it's shady, it doesn't really matter. Late in the afternoon, if it's shady, it doesn't matter. But if you get that good noon, 10, 12, 11, that whole sun to about 3 o'clock, you're in really pretty good shape. You can grow just about anything. And that's part of know your surroundings. You know, if there's a big old tree there, but you've got it here, but at 12 o'clock, that tree's shading your garden, well, it's not going to grow. And frost pockets. What happens is, you know, land rolls like this. Frost goes downhill. So if you've got a garden and it's on the bottom of a slope, if and when we get frost, I won't say if we get frost, it'll flow down there. So you either have to break that up so you don't get it, or you have to think about what you're going to plant there and wait till the season's over. I'm a lazy gardener. Hi, that's me, lazy. I do things once. I hate doing things more than once. So I do my lettuces, my broccoli, my early stuff. I don't put a tomato in the ground until Memorial Day. I'm not going out there and covering my tomatoes. I'm not going to go. They sit there, they turn a nice color red, and they don't do anything. Tomatoes need hot, warm soil. So when you get that, that's when they'll grow. My tomato will catch up to your tomato and blow by it a lot faster, because you actually do stunt it the earlier you put it in. Click. Okay. The biggest pain in the neck is watering a garden. So if you put your garden all the way back in the corner over there and your water source is over here, you got to drag your hose all the way back over there. So that's a thought you need to say. If I'm going to water my pots, where am I getting my water from? You know, how am I going to lug it to where I need to water? Where is my water source? So always think about where you're going to do. A lot of my talks come into thinking. You know, we all know how gardening is nothing but putzing. I mean, let's be serious. You spend enough time in your garden, you're going to have success. But why are you doing things, and what things are you doing for what reason? We do a lot of things. For example, the 4-step method of fertilizing. How do you know you need 4 steps? But they sell it, and we buy it. So you need to think about it. You need to understand. I don't have crabgrass, so why am I putting a crabgrass preventer down when I don't have crabgrass? Why am I putting a weed and feed down when I don't have weeds? But we do, and my beginnings 40 years ago was in garden centers. I owned 3 garden centers in New Jersey, and I leaned right on that bag and said, "This is what you should buy right here. Here you go, right here. This is beautiful." I might have had a lot of it, or maybe the salesman talked me into it's the best product. So think about what you're doing. Don't just buy. And we seem to have a habit of just following what we've always done and what we buy. So water the soil, not the leaves, whenever possible, because this way it's down to where you want it. It's down in the ground. You water the leaves. You don't know what the next day, the next evening, you know, what's going to happen. How are you going to, is it going to be humid all night long and you're going to get some fungus on your leaves? So the best, especially with flowers, even if you water the flowers, they have a tendency to fall apart. And the next question will be, well, what happens when it rains? I can't control the rain. It's when it rains, it'll work its way out. You could bury water jugs. If you can't get to an area, stick a 5-gallon or a gallon pail of water in the ground with a couple little tiny holes in it and keep filling that up so it soaks its way down into the ground where it wants it. Capillary action over the long, slow time. You could put 4, 5, 6 of these in your garden. You bury them once, and then you just go fill them and let them soak into the ground down deep where the roots are, because the goal is to have the roots follow water down. When I see people that water, with irrigation systems, which I now sell, but it comes on every morning for 15 minutes. Well, roots are not stupid. They're going to stay on the top where the moisture is. One of their jobs is to get moisture to feed the plant. So the deeper you water, the farther down the water goes, the farther down goes the roots. This way it protects your, if you've got a lawn or you got vegetables, whatever you have, the roots are down where it's cool and moist, and they survive those times that it isn't. Water early in the day. If you can water early in the day, that's great. If you can't, water as early. Oh my God, what's going on? What do you got going? Is this a surprise? Is this a surprise? Okay. So water early in the day or as early as you can in the evening. If you can get up early in the morning and water, great. If not, do it as early as you can in the evening so it's not sitting out there all night long. I said that. And then mulch. My friends in Minnesota, I'm here for 25 years now. I was born and raised in New Jersey, like you can't tell that. Rock isn't mulch. Rock is rock. Rock doesn't do anything you want it to do. It doesn't keep it cool in the summer and keep it warm in the winter. It doesn't protect the roots. It's rock. It doesn't work. So in your gardens, or even in your pots, or even in your hanging baskets, a little bit organic mulch on top will save you from having to water constantly. You can use newspaper. You can use cardboard. Things that you can just turn into the earth. But don't put rock or plastic down on your lawns or under your beds or on your vegetable gardens, because it's not going to work. It's going to be detrimental. So mulch is an organic material, and yes, it does break down, and yes, you may have to throw a bag or two every couple of years to refurbish it. And if you don't like the color, just rake it and a new color will come up from the bottom. But it's more beneficial for your lawns, for your beds, for your vegetables, for anything you do. I don't plant anything that doesn't get a layer of mulch. Again, lazy guy. I don't want to water all the time. I don't want to have to worry that it's 95 degrees. I got 2 inches of mulch on top of my plant. Well, it's going to get through those times. It's going to keep it evenly moist and an even temperature. Click. Okay. Again, with the tools, this is just so, do some, again, if you're out there and your house is over here or your porch is around the corner, how are you going to get this stuff there? You could get a bin and keep it right next to it. You get a 5-gallon pail you could take out. You can get a wheelbarrow that you can bring it out. But these are things you got to think about, because when it gets to be a drag, you don't do it. Let's be realistic. If it's hard, we all have the tendency to say, by the middle of the summer, hey, it's over there. Hell with it. Excuse me. The heck with it. Well, there's no kids here. What am I worried about? The heck with it. It's, it's over there, and I'm just not into walking that far or doing that or dragging the hose or dragging my rakes and stuff. So again, think about where you're going to keep those things so it's easier for you to do down the line as we approach our older years. Next, click, sorry. Okay, the who's who of soil, passing the test, deciphering the secret code, base jumping or acid test, and I'm hungry, feed me. Do it. Click. Okay, we have 3 types of soil, that's it. So in this area, I think it's pretty sandy, the soil, which in all, if I had my druthers, over, loam is beautiful, black dirt, we all know it's the lucky few that have that, it's pretty cool. But clay, as compared to sand, I can add stuff to sand easier than I can add to clay. Clay takes a while to break down, you've got to keep adding, but organic material in your sand will hold more moisture. You'll still get the drainage that you want. In pots, Don't dig it out of the soil and put it in. Go buy a good potting soil, not a $2.99 50-pound bag or 40-pound bag. Buy a good soil that'll take in moisture and release moisture. That's the biggest key. Loam, of course, is a mixture of everything, and it's the best, but it's rarer and rarer as we go along. If you have clay, you can mix gypsum, 50 pounds per 1,000 square feet, and twice a year, and over the course of time, it'll slowly make the particles not adhere to themselves, but slowly is 3, 4, 5 years. But it'll help, and keep adding organic material. Click. We went through this, sandy's better than clay, you add a lot of organic material. It has less nutrients, so you have to feed. My idea of food now, and it's funny, because now it's now. I mean, when I started 40 years ago, we didn't even know what organic meant. I sold you some organic products, but we sold you chemical products. We sold you that. The difference between organic, especially if you're putting them in sandy, is they feed slow and long. They attach to the organic material. You'll get 12 weeks of a feed on it instead of, you get 10 to 12 weeks, instead of 3 to 4, 5 weeks with a, you know, it's like taking a vitamin. You know, hey, it's great, I got it, but then it leaches out, there's nothing left. So to me, organics are cheap. They're expensive, but in the long run, they're cheaper because you don't have to use as much and as long. And water more frequently. We'll talk a little bit about watering, and you know, I say you should put about 1 inch of water on your plants, pretty much general, 1/2 inch application twice a week. But if it's 95 degrees and you've got predominantly sandy soil and the wind's blowing and Belinda says it's gonna be like that for a couple days, water an extra time, it's okay. It's the wasting of water, it's the clock that comes on constantly every other day when we don't need it. This is my real bandwagon now. You know, those things that just come on and on and on, but that doesn't have anything to do with the soil moisture, whether it needs it or not, whether it's been cool, whether it's been hot. So you have to control those things. You have to think for it. Click. Loam, great damage. Friable. Friable means, you know, you pick it up and you squeeze it in your hand and then it crumbles. You know, it feels good in your hand and then it crumbles. If you have that kind of soil, you have great soil. It'll take nutrients, it'll hold moisture, organic material will grow in there, microbes will flourish in there, and you'll have a great, great garden. It's rich in organic material. It feels kind of smooth, like a baseball kind of smooth in your hand, and it'll hold the moisture, okay? We're gonna go to 1:45, if that's okay, wherever you are, Anita, okay. Clay, you know, like I said, you grab it, and it's clay. It makes a nice clay-like thing. You got to add sand and organic material, but not a bag of sand, a lot of sand. So my idea is add organic material, and I might as well say it now, compost, 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 compost. Do you have a compost area where you can pick it up in this town? That's the best resource, the cheapest thing you could get your hands on. Rent a truck, put it everywhere. I put 1/2 inch of compost on my lawn. Every year, it looks black. My neighbors used to think I was crazy, but my lawn in 2 weeks turns green. The compost works its way in. I've got nutrients. I've got microbes. I'm bringing my soil back alive. Easiest thing you can do. Any garden I have, anything I got, constantly adding compost. And if you can get free compost from your town, if your town is doing that, God bless you. You're lucky people, and use that resource. Don't let it go to waste. Next, please. Okay. What you don't know, different food for different vegetables, here, there, and everywhere in a simple test. Click on that, let's see what happens. Okay. This goes back to buying what you don't know you're buying. You know, hey, I've got a vegetable garden. Hey, 10, 10, 10, man. There it is right here. That's what we all sold for years, 10, 10, 10. 20, 20, 20 is twice 10, 10, 10. Same thing. It's all. That first the numbers are the percentage of the fertilizer of each individual nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. And we'll go over that in a second. So what I'm saying is take a test. Figure out what you got. You don't know what you need until you know what you got. Dig it up. Dig a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here in this garden, 5, 6, 7 places. Put it in a bag. Mix it up. Test it, whether you send it to the University of Minnesota, you buy one of these little shake 'em up things, you buy a chemistry set to look really cool, I don't care. But if you don't know what's in your soil, how could you go to a garden center and ask them what you need? You might not need anything. Your soil may have enough nutrients, your pots may have enough nutrients that you don't have to put anything else in them. So again, that little bit of knowledge, you knowing what you have, makes you capable of making the right decisions when you go to a garden center, a superstore, a big box store, wherever you go, because otherwise you're just going up to somebody that's going to say, this is what you need, and they have no idea what you have. So one thing to take away from this talk is find out what you have and buy only what you need. You know, and it's pretty simple. pH, you know, it makes it, when you have a high pH, it has trouble making use of micronutrients. When the pH 5, you know, I'm not crazy, well, I'm not crazy, that's not true. You know, you don't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be exact for every single vegetable, but if you're around neutral, you're good. You know, you're okay. You can get crazy and do your potatoes a little more acidic and your blueberries and this and that, but you don't have to. You can just be normal, just be neutral. And lime, of course, raises. If I want to lower it organically again, over sulfur, I like cottonseed meal. It breaks down slower. It's 100% organic. Click. Here's the secret code. The first one is nitrogen. The second one is phosphorus. The third one is potassium. Those numbers are nothing more than the percentage of that chemical in that bag. And the reason it is in the 20, do I have a thing here? In a 20-pound bag, if the first number is 10, 10% of that 20-pound bag is nitrogen. So that means there's 2 pounds of nitrogen, 2 pounds of phosphorus, 2 pounds of potassium. The rest of that bag is just so you could get it spread out over your garden. It's just things it's connected to in fillers. But you need to know what those numbers are because they throw them around wonderfully, but these are what those numbers do. Nitrogen is leaves. That's why Scott sells you 36-0-12, because 36 grows your lawn and you think you're doing a great job, except for the fact that you're stressing the heck out of the plant because it doesn't want to grow that fast. So that's why, again, I go to my organic head and say, you buy a nice, slow, organic, slow-release fertilizer that's going to feed over the course of time. And not, you know, that's great for you guys. My lawn's green, it's great, it's growing. Well, you're mowing too, which is not a lot of fun. Phosphorus is the root system. Whether you're growing root plants or deep roots phosphorus is the key. That's what grows, that's what makes those things grow. And potassium is the health, and now we're finding out even for frost protection. So the numbers are nothing more than percentages of each. Next, please. Okay, as I talked about organics last longer. Chemicals are high in salts. Salts kill the microbes in your garden. Salts kill worms in your garden. Salts have been added to your garden over and over and over every time you and I have put that in our gardens. Our soils are not going to come back to the way they were until we stop doing that and start adding organic material, and again, compost, compost, compost. Feed the soil, not the plant. We feed the plants right now. We spray, Miracle Grow, we put things in there to feed the plant. Well, if you feed the soil and make the soil really, you know when you go in the woods and you smell that smell and it's a woodsy smell? Well, that's just the whole woods composting itself. That's leaves breaking down, decaying material breaking down over and over and over. That's how the woods, that's how nature feeds itself. We have to go back to doing that to our gardens, our pots, everything that we do. Again, black gold, compost, compost, compost. Click. Okay, we're going to go through the top 10 vegetables plus one. Contractually, everything I do has to be in 11s, so it's just the way it is. Okay. Number one, guess what the number one plant is? Ready? Blah, 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 click. Oh, we're going backwards. I forgot this one, peas. Okay, peas can take a soil temperature of 40 degrees. Belle was last night saying that it was 44 or 45, even though she lied about crabgrass. It's really 52 degrees, not 55. And the best way to tell when, if you have crabgrass, to put your crabgrass preventer down is when the lilacs in your area are in bloom. They happen about the same time. So you don't have to stick a thermometer or go on a website. When your lilacs are in bloom, it's crabgrass prevention time. You can plant 70 days from a 70-degree average temperature, so you kind of figure out when it really gets hot and back off those days. Again, it's a plant that likes it cool, not hot, so the later you plant it, the worse it's going to taste when you harvest it. And it's a low nitrogen fertilizer because peas take nitrogen from the air. And I do successive plantings. I think a season that we all miss is planting in August and going into the fall, because a lot of these plants I talk about, the lettuces, the broccoli, things like that, those plants get better when it's cold and get worse when it gets hot. Next, please. Lettuce, no head. I have a very difficult time, if ever, been able to produce head lettuce in Minnesota, but leaf lettuces grow great. You can pick them young and they'll still keep growing, so you've got a constant source up until they go to seed, up until they get hot. The planting soil is right about now, 45 degrees. You can stick them in the ground. They'll take a frost. They'll take the cold, no problem whatsoever. Once we start to get really hot, it's called bolting. They go to seed, and it's time to pull them out. They taste terrible. And you can direct seed 2 weeks before the last frost, which sometime, I don't know, middle of May, beginning of May. But I would put plants. If I had plants now, I'd probably put them in the ground. I was thinking about doing that this weekend. Next, please. Hot peppers, very tender. Another thing, peppers, basil, tomatoes, I don't put in the ground until Memorial Day. Never. They like moisture at well-drained soil. They're a very heavy feeder. And if you pick the first set of flowers, they really do fill in and grow much better fruit-wise. And then I was talking to a guy from Jamaica, and I was really cool, man. I said, I know this little secret about you take your hot pepper plants and you put tinfoil around the bottom, and that reflects the heat up, and it really makes it hotter and grow better. He goes, hey, man, we've been doing that in Jamaica for years. And he was right. He said, in Jamaica, they do the same thing. And I've done it recently, and it's pretty cool. You just put a sheet of aluminum foil to reflect up the heat. Next. Onions. Okay, you know why onions don't grow really good in your soil? Because you guys probably don't have this issue, but if you have hard, compacted soil, they're lazy. They push. They decide, I forget about it. I'm just going to grow like this. But if you have hard clay soil or something, do a trench. Put a lot of sand in it, and then you'll grow to the size that they want. Phosphorus, again, for root growth. You can do them from seeds, sets. However, you can't wet soil. They'll rot, so you need good drainage. And this is a plant, if you have a shady area in your garden, that'll grow. They only need like 6 hours of sun. So you can grow them in a cooler, shady area. If half your garden is shady, it's an excellent plant. Same with the lettuces and broccolis and things. Next. Hey, you did that all by yourself. Summer squash. Full sun, fertile soil, even moisture, loves compost. Keep an eye on it, pick young, clean up debris. I don't grow squash or any zucchinis or cukes or any of that. I think they're a pain in the neck. They spread. You got to work at them. They get bugs. I could buy a bushel of them a lot cheaper than the effort I have to put in to grow them. But for those of you that would like to grow them, when I say keep your eye on them, really, because they do get a squash borer. And if you catch the squash borer early enough, which you see it working its way down the vine, the easiest way is just get a little penknife, plop them out, squish them, and move on. You don't even have to spray. Yeah. Next. Carrots. Here's the same thing. Root crop. Make sure you trench them. They don't like compacted, so you can't walk in the same place where you put your carrots. You got to stay away. It's a very lazy vegetable, like I said. It's got to grow easily. It doesn't fight the soil. That's why you get little tiny stubby carrots, because they give up. They just say, fine, this is what you want, that's what I'll do. Plant when the soil temperature is about 60 degrees. So that's another late crop that you should put in the ground. You shouldn't put them in early. And you can pick carrot tops and you can eat those and they make nice in salad, or just let your carrots go. Yes, ma'am. Beans. Again, it's a nitrogen fixing plant. Takes its nitrogen from the air. Number 2, that hates wet soil. Your beans will rot in wet soil. They don't need the nitrogen, like I said. So that's like the 10-10-10 or the 20-20-20. Well, you don't need it where you've grown beans, because they take it out of the air. It's wasted money thrown in right on the ground. Again, late season, if a 40-degree night and your beans, I think I even had this question the other day. 40-degree night and your beans, the leaves will start to turn white. They just don't like cool. So that's another one. I don't plant until early June. Here's the way. Pole produces longer. On a pole bean, you get a longer crop, but on a bush bean, you get more faster, so you can put multiple crops in. And they like it slightly acidic, so you could throw some, even the coffee grinds, which I think we're talking about this weekend, I don't remember. Caribou's giving away coffee grinds. You get a 5-pound bag for free, excellent fertilizer. It's slightly on the acidic side. You could throw that in your garden. Next. Peppers, you know, there's not just bell peppers out there. There's many different types of peppers. Full, well-drained. Plant closer than recommended. When peppers shade themselves, like square foot gardening, they shade the plants and your pepper grows much better and it doesn't burn it, and your leaves stay much better. Inconsistent water. Everything is inconsistent water. That's why I mulch. You know, oh, I got water. Oh, I don't get water for 4 days. Oh, I got water. That's bad on a plant. They're living things. You give them consistency, they'll figure out how to make it work. Green matures to red, which is true. Some greens mature faster, but if we had a longer season, all greens turn red. Bingo. Cucumber. Yes, I could say the same thing I said about squash. That's a pain in the neck. But, you know, full sun, evenly moist. You know, the vine is a continual fruiting thing. Please let the ground warm up before you mulch around it. You know, why do we tell you to mulch in the fall after the ground freezes? We're not trying to keep the freezing out. We're trying to keep it one consistent temperature all winter. So it's totally opposite of what you think. It's not to keep the ground warm. It's to keep the ground one solid temperature, cold, frozen. And that's why you mulch your perennials or whatever you're trying to whatever you want to mulch in the winter, you do it after a hard frost, after the ground is frozen. And then they love water, so the water bucket, you know, really works great on the hills. That pail, you know, you put the 1 gallon pail in and just water it, you know, fill it up with water, 3, 4 little tiny holes, and let it leach out. They love moisture. And shockingly, the number one, as we all know, was tomatoes. A lot of sun, 10 hours of sun if you can get it. You can do it on less, but you're going to get less of a crop. You can rotate it if you can. I don't have that luxury, so I grow my tomatoes in the same place over and over, but I do mulch them and I do try to keep the debris away because the funguses and the diseases are soil-borne. That's why they rot from the bottom when you splash it up, and that's why you should always have mulch or at least 7 or 8 sheets of newspaper under each tomato plant. Plant them deep. You know, when I go to a garden center, I see a tomato this deep, this big, I plant it down to about that size. You know those little bumps on a tomato vine? That's a vine, get it? Tomato vine? They grow roots. So if you put that in the ground, mine catches up to yours and blows past yours because I've got a good root system. So anytime I plant a tomato plant, no matter when it is, no matter what size, I rip off most of the leaves except for the very top ones, and then I plant them down that low. Again, even watering is what keeps them, you know, from cracking. That uneven watering, getting a little, getting not getting it, they'll crack. Blossom end rot is something that you'll get, and that's from a lack of calcium in your soil. So when you test to find out, you'll know these things. And the other thing, the secret magic is magnesium, which you can buy in your garden center for like $10 a bag, or you can go buy Epsom salts for $1.99. It's the exact same thing. Epsom salts is magnesium sulfate. I put 3, 4, it doesn't matter how many, I put like 4 tablespoons in a gallon of water, and as soon as the flowers come out, I water my plant with it. Because tomatoes love magnesium. Magnesium is a minor element, trace element in our soils, which we have wiped out. It's not around. So using that on, you get a sweeter, better tasting tomato. And the number 11, the next great super veggie is kale. Kale. Get it? Kale 11? Huh? Pretty cool. Okay. You know, all right, enough. Last year, well, not even last year, let's say 3 years ago, who bought kale? I bought it for Halloween as an ornamental all to put outside. Now kale, you can't go into a store that isn't selling kale. And now I eat kale all the time. We have it in salads. We have it, you know, fried up like you do with spinach. Well, I'm Italian, shockingly, but I am Italian. So it's a little garlic, a little olive oil, some hot pepper, just fry it up. It does the same thing spinach does, melts all the way down to almost nothing. But, you know, kale is the new hot one. You can't do anything. But kale is one of those plants to be planted soon, and it gets crummier as the year goes on, and then you can plant it again later. But it's one that you can pick and choose, and you've seen the prices of kale. They know it's a hot plant. The prices of kale are skyrocketing, so this way you can save yourself money by growing your own kale. And that's it. Okay, if you want to copy this down, it's Bobby.Jensen Okay, okay. Anybody got a question while we're waiting? I got time for a few. Oh yeah, all the way in the back. Sure, what? Well, yeah, okay. I should make it to, yes, the potato capital of the world. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. I didn't mean to disparage Brooklyn Park. Yep, I pinch off all the leaves up until about the top set of 2 or 3. And I plant it about that high in the ground. Okay, Bobby Jensen. No, why do I look like an IE? Seriously, look at me. I am not, or an I, I'm a Y. Jensen at Irrigreen, IRRIGREEN.com. I got you, IRRI, green, GREEN.com. We have a computerized, check out, when I send it back to you, check out the website. We have a computerized system that saves 50% of water when it irrigates, because it irrigates to the shape of your lawn and it doesn't overlap, but that's a whole nother story. Way back there in the corner. Got to stand up, I'm old, I can't hear you. Well, over the past few years, have trees grown in? Is it in full sun? Okay. It's time to move your tomatoes. And the same thing happens? Ugh. Do you smoke? Do you smoke? Does anybody that goes in there smoke? Because there is a disease that nicotine gives to tomatoes. It's deadly. And it does turn the leaves yellow and falls apart. If it's on your hands, if it's on when you go in your garden, it will attack the plant. Yeah, that is true. But I can't tell. But what I would, as soon as that happens, I'd bring it to a garden center and say, what's going on, and let them diagnose it. Because if you're moving it around from spot to spot, I don't know what, I'd move if I was you personally. I'd get the hell out of there. Yeah, no, but I would bring it somewhere. I would. Yes, ma'am. What about what? Oh, I don't know. You get off Facebook. It's just too crazy on Facebook. I don't know if it's true or not. Okay, she's talking about the chemtrails that nobody knows what they are. It's from airplanes. Some people think that it's a government thing, but I don't know. I try to stay out of those things. Talk to the mayor. Yes, ma'am. Composted properly gets to like 190 degrees. It pretty much kills off everything. If you've ever opened up a compost pile, it's steaming. Once it gets to that point, there's nothing left. That's my opinion anyway. Where? I'll go back there. Yeah. Yeah, rosemary is a very difficult plant to get established. There's 2 different types. One is Russian and one is the cooking, the culinary one. And they're very hard to overwinter, and the plants you buy for the house usually don't survive. But they can, but they're very, very difficult. It's not one of the ones that I enjoy growing. Good luck. Yes, ma'am, and then you. With your what? Onions. It's probably too wet. You probably baby them too much. You're watering them too much, because they'll. You never water your garden? then I would have to see, because my first thought, well, but not unless it's holding water. I mean, if there's clay and it's holding water, maybe, you know, in a wet year, that could affect it. I would put a trench of sand and see if that doesn't stop it. No, I don't think so. Well, she's awful pushy. What if we don't want to do it? There's a lot of us. She can't stop us. Okay, this lady, that we're going to do two. Can you grow plants indoor? Oh, you could grow a jade plant indoor. Yeah, you take the leaf and you cut the leaf and then you dip it, you get some rooting hormone and take that leaf and put the leaf in sand until it roots. And it's going to take a long time to be a big jade plant. But
I got roots on the stems already.
yeah, no, they're air roots. You can't just, no. Well, I really thank you. This is a great crowd. Thank you so much for coming.